My friends, John Murphy here. I just got back on YouTube and I was looking around the internet and I saw a lot of videos talking about this 90-day start. So if you're watching this video, it's really for new loan officers and what you need to know, and truly kind of painting what the obstacles are, and then talking through a business plan for you, and then more simple than that, what are the practical real world things you can implement. Because I watched 2 or 3 videos and I got nervous for you. And the reason I got nervous is it sounds like the people training it are skipping a step and haven't been involved in training new salespeople. So my name's John Murphy. My business partner, Michael Wallenpart, and I own a mortgage company in Indianapolis, Indiana that we're expanding throughout the Midwest. So if you're watching this video, myself or one of my recruiters might be reaching out to you. That's a shameless plug as always. And a great salesperson is always selling, right? So I want to cover this kind of concept here, this 90-day start for you if you're a new LO, because I think I can provide a lot of value. And then if you're thinking about getting the mortgage business, also about planning for your future so you don't get into it and become another statistic. And let me turn this camera just a little bit so you can see this better here. So I love the mortgage business. I've been in the mortgage business almost 14 years. Actually it's 13 years, but almost 14 years. So as we talk about this, what's so important to me about this? Life doesn't have to be hard. The issue with it is that we don't always, life doesn't always bring us the right person to teach us. So this is what's great about technology and the internet is that, hey, we're here, you're here, I'm here virtually, but you're here at home watching this. So hopefully you can pay attention, because I know most of us are in the Instagram or TikTok world. You watch a video 15 seconds. So this is a longer video, so pay attention. I promise it'll be worth it. So again, let's kick this thing off. What are the obstacles when you get started? First things first, let's hit it. Personal. It's hard to inventory your skill set when you get started in the mortgage business. That's why the first year is so hard, because odds are you've never been in outside sales, you've never been 100% commission, you've never had to generate your own business. And again, people are like, oh, you make less money, then you'll make more. True, but the root issue is that you don't have the skills, and you got to be honest with yourself. How do you get to those skills? Okay, so that's obstacle 1. Obstacle 2, financial. Most of us have always exchanged time for money. We showed up to work. We had somebody give us a paycheck if we showed up. No more. The mortgage business pays you for the value you bring the marketplace, my friends. So do not forget that, right? Price is what you pay, value is what you get. So you're going to have to pay the price. You're going to have to learn the skills in order to get this financial acumen. So next piece about your first year in that first 90 days. Most of us don't have the skills. Because what happens in sales is that you're getting started in your first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 year sucks. Horrible. You're not proud of it. You're down. You're depressed. You have bad routines, bad habits. And then somebody else comes in the business, and in their first 90 days, they did your entire year sales. And so what do? You go, I'm sad, I'm upset, and you lose focus about what really matters. And you discount the other person's skills and their habits. So as I kick off this training today, I want you to think about this. We all come to the table with different skills and different routines and networks and habits. But guess what? Business is the first place in your career that the day you get in the business, the first day you get in the business, think about this. You're competing with people who have been in that same business for 30 years, 50 years, 100 years in some company's case. So give yourself some grace and some timing. And again, we can talk about personal finances in another video. But don't realize you don't have to hit it out of the park out of the gate, because it's your personal journey. So give yourself some grace and some new ideas. So let's write this down real quick. So remember this: when you start in life, we all have the same amount of time, right? We all have the same amount of time. You have the same amount of time as Beyonce, as Madonna, as whoever, Drake, or whoever the famous person is that you want to compare yourself to. But what happens in the mortgage business is what we have to realize is we have to make the most of our time. Because when you get started in business, my guess is you don't have all the resources you might need that you think you need when you get started. You might be like, I don't have the time, I don't have the network, I don't have the money, I can't be successful. But what you have to remember is the most successful people are not successful because they're resources, they're successful because they're resourceful. right? If you look at a lot of the best companies in the world, it was started in a garage with no money, like Apple. It was started from two friends or two brothers in a college dorm at Harvard. Facebook. If you look at most mortgage companies, they were started by somebody who didn't have a monster company. They had grit, they had determination. So why would you think in your first 90 days it'd be any different for you? It's gonna be harder, it's gonna take longer, but guess what? It's gonna be worth it. So again, that's what you have to remember is before you get started on the journey, decide now that you're not gonna quit. Decide now that before I start talking through this training and stuff, because what I see is most people forget life is an inside out game. You have to decide inside before you get started what you want. So when the obstacles come, because they will come, you do not waver on why you got started, right? Because you can watch every YouTube video on there and every video missed this one point. It starts with you. You become successful because you kept your word to you. Don't lose track or think that some feature, something will change and magically shape your life. It's all about you and your belief in you. That's why I bring up these obstacles. So before you get started, you have to remember this. Where are you on your skills, right? How are your skills? How are you about getting an appointment? How are you at presenting to someone? How are you at building trust? How do you follow up? How do you create special experiences? How do you know your guides? Those are all personal things. Financial. Most people's financial life is a mess because you have a bunch of shit you don't need. You spend money on stuff you don't need. You probably have cable. You probably have internet. Like me, I got Hulu, HBO, Netflix, cable, Disney Plus, all these other things in my financial life that, again, if you're getting started in a new business, cut it out. It doesn't matter. TV's dumb. It's stupid. You can get it all online for free from your phone. All you really need is your internet. So get your money right before you get started, right? And again, the idea is this. You cut your lifestyle down for a year or two so the rest of your life you can live it differently. I saw a great quote that said just that. Most people aren't willing to cut their lifestyle down for 1 year to live a totally different life. So think about that before you get started. Are you at that point in your life? Are you ready to do this stuff? Now let's talk about skills. And then we'll tie in the business plan. You have to have some simple skills in our business. Number one, first skill you need to have is the ability to execute with your time. Most people, when they go to being 100% commission, have all this extra time, they're horrible with their time. So the first thing you gotta do is eliminate distraction and interruption out of your life. I say, again, cut out all the things that you waste time on in your day, and so you can really get to a place where you can take massive action, okay? The next thing with skills, how can you set an appointment with people? Most of us are so scared. I always love people in my office, when we put them in the bullpen, we call it your starting point in our business. You're in an open area and you gotta talk on the phone. And it's hilarious to me because people will be like, I don't want anyone else to hear what I'm saying. And my first point about our business, when you talk about building skills is talking on the phone, is that you're not calling that prospect for what anyone else in that room thinks about. You're not even calling them in the beginning for that prospect. You're calling them for you because you decided back to this point of how you were going to get started and how you're going to start training and changing your life. So think about that, right? So 2, phone skills. You got to be good on the phone. One of the things I always think about that's hilarious with sales too is when you get started, you're going to suck, right? It's something new. You didn't have your kid wake up one day and just start walking and reading books. You got to put time into them, because what you're going to see is if you're with the right company, all that external motivation, all that external pressure becomes an internal driver. That's what happened with me, is that you have immersion. You're in a culture that says, sell, get on the phone. Who cares what people think? Work harder. You can do it. But again, what most of us do is we think we're different, and then we rationalize and justify to ourselves, and then we don't do the stuff that's the high value skill. Because really all you need in the beginning is you need to set an appointment. These are the first skills you need to develop. How can I take someone I don't know and make an appointment with them and, again, convince them to what I think, right? That's the first thing, to build enough trust that they refer me their customer to work as a vendor. That's it. That is the first skill. If you can master that skill in the mortgage business, right, which is taking a cold prospect and turning them into your friend and they refer to you, you can make a lot of money. Because if you do that 10, 15, 20 times a week, and let's say you don't do it for 52 weeks, you do it for 48 weeks, right? You meet with 5 people a week for 48 weeks. Do the math right there. There's over 200 meetings. I can guarantee you in that 1 year's time, you're an incredible salesperson. You're incredible at convincing them. But what happens is we make this business plan that is so advanced. It's like, no, I have to have a social media strategy. This is what most people tell me. They're like, okay, I got to have an IG, Instagram. I got to have a TikTok. I got to have a LinkedIn. I got to sponsor my kid's school. Sponsor school. Okay, what else? What else? And they'll be like, I got to have an email, CRM. I got to have an email, CRM. I got to have a personal assistant. Okay, keep going. See all the things I'm saying. These are people genuinely tell. Oh, I need a private office, right? Private office. And this right here is their business plan ever before they get started. Versus what I'm telling you, which is what you really need, is you need a laptop and you need a phone. And either you send a text, an email, or a phone call to ideally to realtors. This is your business model. This is the John Murphy Napkin business model, which is you focus on realtors. One, focus on agents. Number two, this is your skill. This is who you call. You focus on the agent. Then number two is how to set an appointment and present. Appointment. And then number three is repeat, right? That's the business plan. Because when we talk about all this 90 days, make it easy, right? Make it linear, make it simple to understand. Now when I say easy, I mean easy to do, not the journey or making these sales calls are going to be easy, because most of us are fragile. Let's be honest. Like the average person who gets into sales in the beginning is fragile. You're gentle. You worry about what other people think. And what you're going to learn pretty quick is nobody cares. So as we talk through this 90 days and we talk through getting started, it's really fairly simple, but we make it complex. But one of the biggest things we have to focus on is this right here, the actions we take. So to summarize all of this, and let me get my piece of, to wipe this off real quick so you can see this, because what I want to share from this video as we came to this point, and if you're still watching, is the real kind of secret, if you will. And here it is, simply put for you, if you're still here with me. Number one, who are you going to call? Who, right? My advice would be your network, right? Network, write this down, network, and realtors, right? That's the who. Now two, the what. What are you going to do? What are you going to provide them? Okay, so here's the thing you got to remember. You providing value in the mortgage space comes in a couple ways, but odds are when you're brand new, you're not going to have this great network referring to you. So what you're going to provide them is you're going to do all the things your competitors won't want to do. Here's a great one. Attend their open house and say, hey, I'll collect contact information at your open houses with you. Would that be helpful? Don't offer, because you probably have no money, and the things we already talked about. You probably don't have any money or any skills or anything. So just say, hey, I'll collect people's information at your open house, and I can take pre-approvals for you if there's people there, so we can write an offer. I don't want to intrude on your relationship, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to provide value. And by and large, when you're brand new, you want to do all the stuff nobody else wants to do. Now, have you noticed in this training today, I haven't talked about a private office. I haven't talked about anything other than calling agents, calling your network, and just talking to people, right? And I'll give you those constructs. But if you really look at this, simply put, who, what, and then where are you going to do it? This is the thing, what you got to remember. In a digital world, what you have to remember is that you're going to have to work a lot. You're going to have to take calls at unopportune times when you get started, because you're building skills, you're building that relationship. But what people forget when we talk about all this in your first 90 days is that you're really trying to create a business plan and a routine for yourself. So when you wake up Monday morning, you know what you need to do, you need to what you need to focus on, and you need to know what are the things that make you money. And in the end, what makes you money is, again, you provide the value with the intention that you earn the right for the referral. Because at the end of the day, realtors still control the referrals in the beginning, because you will develop a network and you'll get some clients that way. But in the beginning, it's fairly simple, because you need to get a list in your first 90 days of ideally 10 agents who trust you. You don't have to be their preferred lender. You don't have to be the magic maker. But to start, this is the framework right here. You set a meeting with an agent. You know how to do it. You provide value to them. Hey, I'll do an open house with you. I'll do the things other people won't want to do. I'll be there to support you. Your network. Hey, just bring awareness to them. Hey, I'm in the mortgage business. Been a while. If you don't have a network, create a network, and we can cover that in a future video. But in the first 90 days, the business is not that hard, but it's that we come to the table with a lot of assumptions and a big ego to think somehow people are going to care that we got in the mortgage business. And it's actually the opposite. Nobody cares. So as I close out this video, and it's been 15 minutes, you have to realize that this can be fairly simple if you make it, right? Who, what, where, and who are you targeting? That's it. That's the business. And where are you going to do it? You just got to make sure that as we talk through this, that you're realizing it is a journey. It is a process. There's no magic or shortcuts. And again, it's about building these routines and skills and again, challenging your old belief systems to be more successful. Because the business is awesome. It's phenomenal. But again, you can't just come in to think of somebody who's been doing something for 30 years, and you're going to take their spot, right? You're going to be able to get their referrals that quick. You got to pay the price. You got to earn it. And again, what you have to remember in that first 90 days is you're out there to build skills, to break free of all the bad routines and things you've done in the past to make yourself more successful. All right, let's do this.